we are going to be going over some common grammatical mistakes that even people as smart as students at the University of Florida commonly make every day. How is added again? Your and your. The first your is a possessive again, so I'm going to take your lunch if you don't eat it. And the second your is again a conjunction of you and are, as in you're going to regret not eating that lunch later. It's and its. This one is a little more tricky. I see people mess this up a lot actually in papers that I proofread. Effect and affect, these get confused a lot too, but the main rule to keep in mind is that if you're confused, replace the word with a verb. And if the verb fits in the sentence, you should probably be using affect with an A. And if the verb doesn't make sense, then you should be using effect, because effect is usually a noun. An easy example to remember is there's a lot of space in outer space. So you need to have a space in between a lot in order for it to make sense. These are some of the most confused. I see this on Facebook all the time. People don't know how to use and I versus and me. The easiest way to remember this is you have to take the other person out of the sentence. And if the sentence makes sense with the other person not in the sentence, then that's how you determine whether or not you use the right one. For example, fewer and less. This is one that grocery stores get wrong a lot. Can anyone tell me what the rule for fewer and less is? Do you have any idea? If you don't, it's okay, because like I said, professional businesses mess this up all the time. So fewer is what you use when you can actually count the items. So when you go to Publix and it says 10 items or less, that's incorrect. It should be 10 items or fewer, because you can actually count the items. For example, Frank has written fewer poems for Princess Consuela since he got a real job. You can actually count the poems that Frank has written, whereas Princess Consuela has less incentive to bake him cakes. You can't actually count incentive or motivation or apathy, things like that. So that's when you would use less instead of fewer. And literally, this is pretty obvious, but when you use literally in a sentence, a lot of people say, oh, I literally died last night when XYZ happened. But